All right. Hi, Business English class. I am sure that you're glad to not see me there. Maybe some of you are not, but um, don't worry. I still have plenty of work for you to do. So let me grab the book and let's all turn to page 240. This is going to be your next speech assignment. And it is simply an informative speech. Okay. So, for an informative speech, you're not trying to change anyone's mind about anything. You're not trying to be persuasive. You are simply giving information. However, it still needs to be organized. And if you'll remember, we talked about those different ways to organize. We talked about chronological, spatial, topical. Am I missing one? Cause and effect. Okay. So, you're still going to put to use that knowledge when you are creating a speech for this. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's just look for a second on page 241 at this sample speech. I'm not going to read it all, but you're going to see that it is organized very much like an essay that you would do for me is organized. Okay. So, your 5-paragraph essays that you do start out with an opening paragraph, and we've talked about that. Your opening paragraph, so to speak, for your speech is your introduction. And if you all will remember, I feel like the best introduction for a speech is a story, right? That can really hook you in. You don't have to use it, but it's a great way. If I'm telling you I think it's the best, then that means if you do use it, I'm going to be thinking that you paid attention and probably give you a big old check mark for actually doing that, okay? And then, so you've got the introduction. And then you'll notice along the side, I'm not going to read the speech, but it says, first point, establish squirrels' need. We're talking about adopting squirrels. Okay. First point is adopting squirrels' need. And then down below, it says, second point, deliver emergency care. And then if you'll turn the page onto 242, it says, last point, make a rational decision. Okay, so this is organized topically, and I generally think that that is the easiest way to organize a speech. And you'll see that there were 3 distinct points. So you can think of those as your body paragraphs, if you will. And those are all going to support your thesis. Are you still going to have a thesis for a speech? Yes, you are. I'm so glad you asked. And then you end out the speech with a conclusion. Okay, so your assignment for tomorrow, and I do believe that this is on the lesson plan as well. Let me double check. Yes. So you are going to choose a topic that you want to do your informative essay on. And then you are going to list your 3 points. So in essence, you're creating kind of a thesis, but you're not actually writing the thesis out. Okay. But you're going to come up with a topic. So let's say that I want my topic to be Stanley mugs. This is not a Stanley mug. This is a fake. And so that's your topic. And then my 3 points that I'm going to talk about, I'm going to talk about maybe the history. I'm going to talk about how they're made and then their rise in popularity. Okay, so that's an example. And I would just list out those 3 points and my topic. Okay, and that would fulfill that assignment for tomorrow. Or let's say that I want to do an informative speech on pediatricians. So I'm going to say my topic's pediatricians. I'm going to talk about how do I become a pediatrician, the perks of being a pediatrician and the challenges of being a pediatrician. Okay. Or let's look at some of the suggestions so I don't have to sit here and think of them off the top of my head. Sample topics are, how does a vaccination work? What does courtship dating mean? Why is there a conflict between Israel and Palestine? Ooh, that is timely. I don't know if I would choose that. I don't think that you could do a short speech on that one. How does photosynthesis work? How to arrange furniture? Where to go for a vacation? I would prefer you not to choose a how-to one, okay? Let's stay away from that. I feel like that's a very different genre of speech. That's more of a demonstration speech, so let's not do that one. But the history of our city, how to read a map, don't do a how-to, so I should have read that. Holiday traditions, it can be on your favorite country, it can be your favorite city, it can be a singer that you like, it can be a piece of clothing, it can be pretty much anything. Okay. Please try to stay away from controversial topics for this one. We will do another speech later on where if you want to get all controversial, I'm looking at you, Mary Poe. You can do that later on. So again, for tomorrow, part of your assignment is to pick a topic and write down those 3 subtopics or 3 points within the topic. Okay. You're also going to be doing page 233, which I don't know what that is. I'm looking at that right now. Okay, so it's talking about just giving 2 possible topics for each type of informative speech below. Now, there are different types of informative speeches, and you have a demonstration, which I said, I think that that's in a different category, and we are not going to be including that in our informative speech. So demonstration is like how to fix a refrigerator or how to sew on a button. Okay. We're going to put that in a separate category. We're not going to do that. The other type of speeches, we have processes. So for example, this is a kind of a how-to, but it's not something that you're teaching, you're explaining it. So maybe how they make erasers. Okay. That is a process speech. The other type of speech is a definition speech. So that is going to be your speeches like, what is a Stanley Cup, or what is an igloo? Okay. Then you have description, and descriptions are going to be basically anything that can be observed. And I feel like description and definition are very similar. It doesn't, and then we have explanation as well. It doesn't matter to me that you particularly are identifying which one of these your speech is. What's more important to me is your ability to pick a good and clear topic and refine that topic. Okay. So you may have this big idea of like, oh, I love food, I want to talk about food. Well, obviously, if you decided just to talk about food, how insanely large would that sphere that you have to pull from be? It would be crazy. You want to refine it into something smaller. Let's say you want to talk about animals. You don't want to talk about every animal on the earth, right? So refine that as well. So this chapter basically goes over a lot of things that we have already covered pretty much ad nauseum. So I'm not too worried about you all understanding what is in it. However, if you get stuck, please do read through chapter 11. It's got some good information about how to form an informative speech. Now, we'll go more into the research that you need in order to back up your topics and your ideas. But for now, follow the lesson plan for tomorrow. And we're not done. Hold on. We're not done. We're not done. Okay. So I'm going to have you all do a little bit of group work because you can't get away from group work even when I'm not present, right? Right. Sorry, I'm trying to read my notes. This is very impromptu. This was not a scheduled thing. Okay, I can't read my own writing. Let's see. It's 2:31. There we go. Okay. So what I want you to do is you're going to divide up into groups, and your sub can divide you up herself, or you all can divide yourselves up. I don't care. What I want you to do is probably pause the video while you get divided into groups. Okay. So go ahead and pause it. Okay. So you're divided up into groups now. I want each and every group right now to be able to come up with 3 points that you could talk about if you were doing a speech on the following 4 things. Okay. What you're doing is I want you to go ahead and write these topics. Pretend like I'm giving you topic 1, topic 2, topic 3, topic 4. And for each one of these topics, give me 3 sub points that you would talk about within the speech. In order to do that, you may have to do a little bit of research because you may not know anything about these topics, or you might. Okay. So topic number 1, and every single group is doing this same thing. Okay, so every group is coming up with 3 points to go with each one of these 4 topics. Every group is doing the same thing, okay? Except you're working within your groups. Okay, ready? So topic number 1 is, what is stock car racing? So write that down. Topic number 1 is a speech that would tell your audience about what is stock car racing. Now I need you to come up with the 3 points, how you would organize your speech. What would that first chunk be about? What would the second chunk be about? What would the third chunk be about? Okay. All right. Topic number 2 is, what is woodworking? What is woodworking? Okay. That's your topic. Now you need to come up with 3 sub points within that speech. Topic number 3, what is aerobics? Yeah, I said aerobics. Aerobics. What is aerobics? And then the last one is, what is hydroponics? What is hydroponics? HYDROPONICS. So for the rest of the time that you have remaining, work within your groups, come up with good subtopics to go with each one of these topics. And you're going to turn that in before you leave. If you need to have access to your phones while you're doing this, you may. However, you may not do anything that is off task. If your sub catches you doing anything off task, she gets to take your phone. Okay, so please be respectful. I trust you all. I'm sure you will not disappoint me, and enjoy.